Dr. MacKenzie here. I'm going to talk to you today about my book, Noticing Fixes More Than Fixing. When you buy it, you'll notice that there's quite a clever little optical illusion on the front, which makes fun of the name, Noticing Fixes More Than Fixing. But before I get started, I'd like to say thanks to Dr. C.J. Bowen. Claire Bowen is a medical doctor from England. She's done quite a few classes with me, and she is the first person who has been able to take any of my work and put it into a book form. So her name is on the front, and my name is on the front, and both of us have contributed to the book, and we're in the process of writing our second book. But I want to talk to you for just a couple of minutes about the book itself. It's written for curious practitioners. And for me, that usually is people who are natural practitioners, holistic practitioners, naturopaths, acupuncturists, kinesiologists, chiropractors, anybody who's curious about the body. Being a chiropractor and a kinesiologist, I've said for years, if I know what's going on, then I probably don't know how to work with the person that I'm currently working with. So, but saying that, this book was designed because when I was in practice, I'd been in practice about 6 years, I think. I walked out of my office one Saturday afternoon, headed towards my Jeep, had the key in the door when my office manager came running out, and she said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm not really sure where I'm going." And she said, "What's going on?" I said, "I don't like it in there." And she said, "What?" I said, "Everybody in there is complaining. Everybody." She says, "Look, you've got 4 patients left. You've got 2 new patients. You don't have any associate doctors. It's all on your shoulders right now." I said, "I know, but I just don't like it in there. I don't know what to do about it, but I don't like it." I said, "I can't get that everybody has to complain about to me about something." And she said, "Well, you're a doctor." And put her arm around my shoulder and waltzed me back into the clinic. I finished up that Saturday and then was not really sure what was going on. A few months later, maybe a couple of years later, I guess, maybe a few years later, I met a man, and he showed me how to have an intentional consultation. Well, he showed me the techniques for me to develop the intentional consultation. That's the underline of the book, a guide to the intentional consultation. And this is not only for your new patient consultation, this is for every patient you deal with. Every day when they come in, if you can, 1, have fun with your patients, which, if you're watching this video, I suggest you do one thing. If you're into getting your patients better, make a sign, get on your computer, hand make it if you must, and put in your office, the number 1 rule of this office is doctor, and then your name, has fun. And when your patients start doing things that are not fun for you, taking your vitality away, talking about stuff that you really don't talk about, you can really simply just point to the sign and say, "Excuse me, do you see the sign?" The sign says, "Dr. MacKenzie has fun, and this is not fun for me." Now, I'm not saying to be unprofessional. I'm not saying that you can't get the information from the patient. You have to get the information from the patient as to what they need to get done. But many of my patients would go on and on and on and on about things that really, really didn't matter to me, things that didn't matter to them, things that didn't enhance their vitality, things that didn't enhance my vitality. And a lot of times when I left work, I left less energized than when I went in. When I developed the techniques for the intentional consultation, a lot of them are old techniques and they're not mine. Pattern interrupts, having fun with people, getting them to laugh over silly things, realizing, as I say in my book, that 1 of 2 things is going to happen. Either your patients are going to get better or they're not. The one thing in certain is both y'all are going to die at some point, but nobody knows when. So if you're dealing with life-threatening patients, it may or may not behoove you to read this book. But what you've got to look at is, if you're not having fun in practice, which your practice is probably a fair portion of your week, it's going to be tough to have fun in the rest of your life. Now, because somebody is debilitated, because somebody is sick, because somebody is not feeling well, doesn't mean that you can't enjoy them. A few years ago, I did a consultation at the Paracelsus Clinic in St. Gallen, Appenzell, Switzerland. And a patient came in, and we talked for an hour, and then she left. After she left, her attending physician asked me to sit for a few minutes, and he said, "She's never presented to me like that. She's always presented to me as a frail, sickly woman." And I said, "What did you see today?" He said, "I saw her intelligence, I saw her beauty." He said, "I saw so many things that I haven't seen." He said, "How did you do that?" And I said, well, that'll cost you some money. It'll cost you a weekend course, which he came and did my course called Self-Actualization. It was before I had my book written. But what I presume about every patient when they come in is they're perfect. I know that that's true. Sometimes I don't always remember it. Sometimes I don't always believe it, but I always know that it's true. And if I can see the patient in their perfection, if I can see them, no matter what they're going through, as it being a perfect manifestation of them at that point in time, makes it much easier to deal with. If I can appreciate each patient. Now this is where one of the things you're going to see, and we're going to talk about in the book, is a thing called ruthlessness. And ruthlessness is looking out for your happiness, compassionately looking out for your happiness. If you have patients who don't want to get better, or who want to make your day worse, and don't want to be disciplined, with this book you'll be able to see what to do with them. Again, when I was in practice, when I saw that there were certain patients, one, who did not want me to have fun, two, insisted on complaining about their lives and things that I couldn't do anything about, I was legally bound to refer them out. I referred them out to a friend of mine who was practicing not too far away, but he, was a huggy sort of a person and really took life rather seriously. We spent some time together, but I usually tried to lighten him up because I don't believe that life is a serious event. There's not much evidence to show that it's a serious event. And I referred all of my patients that were kind of clingy and whiny and stuff to him because, one, he needed the patients because he was clingy and whiny, and not a lot of people wanted to go to him. But also, I thought I need to get them to somebody that I trust, and I did trust him as a practitioner. He was a good doctor, he was a good kinesiologist, good chiropractor. So I referred them all to Tim. That's as far as I'm going to say his name. But the unfortunate thing was, about 2.5 years after referring all these patients, he died of brain cancer. So I don't know whether it's connected or not. If it is, well, my first thought, of course, was better him than me, working on those patients and not having the discipline to get rid of them. But if you buy my book, please enjoy it. It gives you some really, really fascinating tips on just how to be with your patients, how to enjoy them, how to enjoy your day more, how to be more productive, how to attract more patients, how to be more attractive to your patients, how to make your patients more attractive to you by using probably the most abused invention of man, language. Now, we all have to talk, we all have to listen to our patients, but there is an art to the conversation which you can start immediately when you're dealing with your patients. You can start immediately altering how they view themselves, how they view their world, and how they're going to respond to their world. The book is also how do you respond to your patients in such a way that you can enjoy them more. Go to the website, buy the book, have fun, enjoy it. If you have any questions, try emailing me. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We're going to be getting better at this with blogs and things. But Dr. Bowen is also available for consultation on this stuff. She lives in England. Your timeline might be easier there. But have a fun day. I appreciate you listening to me.